Today is a special day for all of us. It's Thursday when Jesse finally does his laundry.
What?
Yes, you smell.
Oh.
But it's also Fox News' 25th anniversary. It's a milestone, but it's probably a bigger achievement than anyone in this industry would care to admit, because it includes destroying the legacy media. So why in hell would they celebrate the thing that killed them? I don't blame them. While we celebrate our 25th, what can CNN celebrate? Another month without a Jeffrey Toobin Zoom call? Congrats. When Fox News debuted, it was roundly mocked, but within months, the mockery stopped. The critics saw Fox rise to the top and beat the pants off him, which was easy with Toobin. So, how did this happen? First, it was necessary. It had to happen. The mainstream news not only refused to serve most Americans, they felt they didn't have to. They controlled the narratives, and you had little choice but to take it. They abused your trust. They lied to you. They thought you were stupid. They shared the same brain. So the industry devolved into a corrupt, insular machine out to stoke division to make money. Then Fox came along. We were different. We knew this monolithic media was derelict in its duty. So Fox provided the balance that was missing. It did so fearlessly, knowing that it would paint targets on all of our backs. But its popularity grew. And why? Because we're people. We weren't perfect. We were human. You could relate to us. It wasn't a network. It was a relationship. Oh, you could get mad at us and turn us off, but you also knew we had your best interests at heart. So you stuck with us through all the great stuff and the not so great stuff. Fox didn't speak down to you like the pompous gas bags at other networks. We spoke directly to you. We assumed you were as smart as us, if not smarter. We didn't see family or religion as a joke. We celebrated the American idea. We relished providing a voice for the unheard. As employees at Fox, we thank Fox for keeping us employed. Here's my first appearance on Fox on the O'Reilly Factor. I was quite a handsome guy, I have to say. And there's Jesse. Yeah, I had great sideburns, Jesse, those eyebrows. And then there was Dana. Look at her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you
this
go.
has been the most painful.
Yeah, I think you aged better than all of us.
Yeah.
But the real thanks goes to you, the viewers, who trust us and let us into your homes. And thanks to everyone who came before us who made this happen against seemingly insurmountable odds. To another 25.
Great.
Why, thank you.
Well said.
Why, thank you.
Well done, brother.
Oh, thank you. So you guys can keep just complimenting me. I'll do that. So, any theory, Dana, as to why Fox News has been able to, over time, build and build and build as the other media becomes more and more kind of elite and insular?
Well, I think you nailed it, right? That the media for so long basically had a point of view, and the mainstream media has kept that point of view for the most part, if not even becoming slightly more even tilted towards the left, like not so much in the center, even center left, but more progressive. And then all of a sudden there was an alternative. And if you give people choices in a capitalistic system, then if there's a market for the product, then it's going to do well. What I thought was really interesting today is that there are 136 employees that work here still today that started on the first day.
Wow.
And this morning there was a scroll all across, as you can see it there. They listed all of the people, and I thought that was pretty amazing. For a network that was supposed to fail,
yeah.
And Rupert Murdoch, in one of the interviews he did with Neil Cavuto not too long ago, he said that everyone thought he was crazy when he was starting it, and so hopefully he's feeling pretty good today about the success.
Yeah, I remember when it started and wanting to work for it when I was at Men's Health magazine. Jesse, I made the point of comparing and contrasting the fact there's no interesting people on other networks. I mean, you considered interesting for the wrong reasons. But I mean, there's something about the fact that if you turn on Fox, you know the people there and you actually, when people see you on the street, they believe that they know you.
Yeah. Well, we have true believers here at Fox News. We don't get on the air because we want to look pretty and be liked by certain people and succeed in the broadcast industry. We come on here because we care about the country and we care about the people of the country. And I like to think that I speak for the people of the country and give the people of the country a voice that they didn't have before. So when you see an audience member approach you, they treat us like family. And that connection is so strong. None other broadcast professionals have the connection that we have with the audience. And I can state that as a fact. Because we care so passionately about what we do. Greg, we were talking in the green room about a fake news article that we saw that fake outrage, a performance art. No. We actually care about what's going on in the country. And maybe we're outraged at something we see because that just doesn't sit well with us, because we know it doesn't sit well with the rest of the country. But we're also laughing and joking, and it doesn't always have to be about outrage. We're not doing this for money or ratings. We actually believe what we're saying, and that's a lot different than the other people you see on television.
But the ratings are great, the money's good.
That's because we're authentic.
And you do look good.
Yes.
We have a team of people in there.
And they
Harold.
make us look good.
Judge, when did you first come to Fox?
I think it was in 2008. I had been the DA and I ran for Attorney General and I didn't win in New York. Oh, that's me. Yeah, that's me as a DA. Wow, war on terror. There I was as a DA.
Hubba, hubba.
And I don't know. We all look quite different. But at the same time, I mean, what Jesse was saying and what you've said, what we've all said is this. Look, we resonated with America. And were it not for Fox, there would be such a monolithic train of thought where all the networks said the same thing, all cable said the same thing. I mean, it would be fascism at this point. And the truth is, thank goodness for Fox, that we're allowed to say what we want. We are who we are. We have distinctive personalities, and I agree with you. When I go around the country, oh, I love you, Judge Jeanine, and I'm like, they don't know me, but they do, and they get that we're honest, that we're believers. We're believing what we're saying, and you got to give credit. This is a David versus Goliath. This is a story where you've got Rupert Murdoch, who had the vision, the business sense. He didn't run with the pack. He didn't need permission. He didn't need approval. And 79 months of quarters that we've won, and we're number one. That's it. I mean, that's the American way.
There you go. Harold, you're new to this company, but you've been around here. And what do you make? What is the power of Fox News coming from like outside and coming in?
So I actually started here in 2007. I lost a race for the Senate back in Tennessee and started in 2007, was here for about a year. However, when the network started, I just got elected to Congress. And your viewpoints are right. We live in a big, diverse, sprawling democracy, sometimes a brawling democracy. And I think the cornerstone of our strength as a nation is that we have to be willing to not only listen to, but accept dissent, political point of views, different political point of views. And a new member of Congress, I came on this network often. I came on with Bill O'Reilly. I came on with Hannity. I came on with others around the network. And I often wanted to be able to reach constituents of mine that might not watch the other networks. Look, I listen to Fox, and now that I'm on Fox, I clearly listen to it, even when I'm not on. And some members of my party don't like what happens here. I don't always agree with the things that we talk about, but sometimes I do. But you have to listen to understand when you do. And you also have to listen, I think, as you think about crafting arguments, strengthening your own arguments, but even more so agreeing when someone is right. And I think we could all benefit from that. And when I think of Fox, that's what I think of when I congratulate Mr. Murdoch and Lachlan and the entire organization on 25 years of enormous success. They figured out the marketplace, and hopefully there's another 25 to 50 years of success as well.
Yeah, I'll be 60 then. Still look great, though.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing what the... Well, I was going to make a disgusting joke, but instead, why ruin this moment and just move on?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.